Hi everyone, we now enter into the second part of paragraph 484, and as I said in the beginning of the first part of this lecture, we're going to look at the German text. That is our first goal. So let's go to paragraph 484. We discussed the first part up till here, and then we have this part. So, die Freiheit zur Wirklichkeit einer Welt gestaltet, erhält die Form von Notwendigkeit, deren substanzieller Zusammenhang das System der Freiheitsbestimmungen und der erscheinende Zusammenhang als die Macht, das Anerkanntsein, das ist ihr Gelten im Bewusstsein ist. So the freedom that has been formed into the reality of our world receives the shape of necessity, and the substantial connection of all these determinations of freedom, of liberty, form the system, and this connection appears as a power. And that's the power of being recognized. That is to say, the validity of all of that in consciousness. A lot to unpack again. So, first of all, freedom has been shaped into the reality of a world, a social world. Social practices, institutions, ideas, ideologies, all of that is objective spirit in which we find ourselves, and at the same time we recognize ourselves. It gets the shape of necessity. It is the way it should be. You cannot simply change society overnight in one stroke of the pen. There is a system of determinations of freedom in which I seem to lose my freedom, at least experience a limitation to my freedom, but they actually are determinations of my freedom. Because this connection of all of these determinacies of freedom, they appear as a power, as an external force, but they are at the same time recognized as such. They are recognized by me as something that I need to follow, without following or obeying the power that is opposite me, without that being actually a negation of my liberty. They have validity in my consciousness. The laws of a nation, the moral rules of a nation, they have a validity in my consciousness, a legitimacy in my consciousness. They are recognized by me, and this being recognized is actually the power by which these determinations of freedom, these limitations also of freedom, appear to me. So there's a whole system. You can approach social life as a system of these determinations of freedom, and that is how we should consider the notion of right. Right, that is the way in which my freedom has become determined, and those determinations of right, I am supposed to and I'm able to recognize them. Now, at first, that is only in a very immediate shape, in the form of that being recognized appears at first as property, the recognition of the right of someone to own something. Okay, so that is the end of my unpacking of this paragraph in German. In the next installment, we will talk about the English version of this text, the translation by Wallace, and we will find some differences of opinion about the validity, the clarity of the translation, but we'll look at that in the next episode. So for now, thanks for listening, and see you next time.